There is a dangerous paradox hidden within your expertise that acts as a silent liability. While you think you're building a career, you might actually be building a fossil. In this hyper-accelerated 2026 market, your static authority isn't just outdated, it's the blindfold preventing you from spotting the next total industry reset. Because the very thing that once made you valuable might now be the thing slowly making you irrelevant. Let that sink in for a second. But this isn't a hopeless situation. By the end of this video, I'll show you how to turn this curse into one of the most powerful advantages you can have in a rapidly changing world. You spent years getting good at what you do. You stayed late. You sacrificed hobbies, maybe relationships, and somewhere along the way, people started calling you the go-to person, the expert, the one who knows, and that felt good. You earned it. But here's what nobody tells you when you reach that level. The moment you become an expert, you also become vulnerable in a way that beginners never are, because your brain, the same brain that helped you master your craft, starts working against you. Every skill you master physically rewires your brain. Neural pathways get carved out, deepened, reinforced. The more you repeat something, the more automatic it becomes. Your brain running the same roads so many times they turn into highways. But highways only go where they already go. When the landscape shifts, your brain doesn't just struggle to adapt, it resists actively. Because building new pathways feels like starting from zero. And for someone who spent 20 years being the authority in the room, starting from zero feels like dying. Think about the accountant who mastered spreadsheets over 2 decades. Then AI started doing in 4 seconds what used to take him 4 hours. Did he lean in? Most didn't. Most pulled back. Most started saying, the human element still matters. Maybe they were right, but they were also terrified. And that terror disguised itself as wisdom. Sound familiar? What about the graphic designer who built a 7-year reputation on her illustration skills and watched generative AI produce in 30 seconds what used to take her 3 days? The logical answer is adapt, evolve. But what actually happens inside when the thing you built your entire identity around suddenly becomes available to anyone for free? That's not just a career problem, that's a grief process. The real enemy isn't AI. The real enemy is something researchers call identity fusion. When you've spent enough time being the expert stops being what you do and becomes who you are. I am a lawyer, I am a marketer, I am a developer, not I solve problems using the best tools available. And the moment your identity locks onto a skill, you will defend that skill the way you defend your family. Experts don't fail because they lack intelligence. They fail because their identity is invested in being right. You stop asking, what if the game has changed? You start asking, how can I prove my way still matters? 2 completely different questions, leading to 2 completely different futures. Kodak's engineers dismissed digital cameras, technology their own company invented. Not because they were stupid, but because admitting digital was the future meant admitting their life's work was becoming a relic. The taxi industry didn't ignore ride-sharing because they couldn't see it. They fought it because accepting it meant accepting that everything they'd built was about to collapse. But here's the gut punch. The 2026 job market doesn't care about your psychological comfort. It doesn't care what you sacrificed to get here. Companies right now are not looking for the deepest expert in the room. They're looking for the most adaptable person. Autonomous systems now handle analysis, coding, design, research, tasks that used to require years of specialized training. The person who spent a decade perfecting those tasks in isolation, that skill set just got commoditized. The market no longer rewards the person with the answers. It rewards the person who knows what questions to ask next. So what do you actually do with this? The first move, the most uncomfortable one, is separating your identity from your skill set, not abandoning your skills, holding them loosely, like a tool you're using rather than a trophy that defines you. Because when you are your profession, you will protect it even when the world has moved on. But when you are a problem solver who happens to use certain tools, you stay free. You can pick up new tools without feeling like you're betraying yourself. That single shift changes everything, and most people never make it. Here's a simple framework. Take every skill you have and sort it into 3 buckets. First, Timeless skills, storytelling, critical thinking, persuasion, problem solving. These don't compete with AI, they direct it. They become the steering wheel on top of an extremely powerful engine. If you have these, you're not in danger, you're in demand. Second, amplified skills. Skills that become more powerful when paired with AI. Marketing with AI optimization, coding with AI co-pilots, design with generative tools. Your existing expertise becomes a multiplier. If you're not actively learning the AI layer on top of these, that's your gap. That's where your next 6 months should go. Third, the one nobody wants to look at, fragile skills, highly repeatable, step-by-step tasks, routine analysis, template-based work. The test is simple. If you can explain it step by step and someone with no experience can follow along and get the same result, and AI can eventually do it. That's not a prediction. That's already happening. Which bucket holds most of your current professional value? Be honest. That answer tells you everything. The highest leverage professionals right now are becoming what I call question architects. People who look at complex situations and design the right questions, the ones that unlock insight and reveal what nobody else is seeing. Old professional, I solve problems. New professional, I design the system that solves the problem. One gets replaced by automation, the other directs it. The future belongs to people who can direct intelligence, not just possess it. Your value in the next decade won't come from how deep you go in one direction. It'll come from how many disciplines you can pull from at once. Design plus psychology plus AI doesn't produce a designer. It produces a UX strategist. Marketing plus data plus automation doesn't produce a marketer. It produces a growth architect. These roles are harder to replace. These are the careers that compound instead of decay. The old model was a ladder, one track, straight up. The new model is a web. The more disciplines you've touched, the more irreplaceable you become. One final mindset shift, the hardest one. You have to treat your knowledge as temporary, not worthless, but temporary. What you know today has an expiration date. The professionals who thrive aren't the ones who master something once and defend it forever. They're the ones who master something, extract the lessons, and move deliberately, without ego, into the next thing. The most dangerous sentence in a fast-changing world is, "This is how it's always been done." Almost never said out of ignorance, almost always said out of comfort. And comfort in a market accelerating like this one is a slow-moving trap. You are not losing your value, but the version of you that refuses to evolve is. The professionals who survive this decade won't be the smartest in the room. They'll be the ones who can walk into a completely new room, new rules, new tools, new language, and adapt fast enough to contribute before the room changes again. Treat your expertise not as a destination. Treat it as a launch pad. Because the question is no longer, what are you good at? The real question, the one that will define the next 10 years of your professional life, is this: how fast can you become good at something new?